Good morning. Marianne Domain is away. I'm Mark Carcasole filling in. You are watching extensive coverage here on CBC News Network of the Air Canada strike. It's now just over 7 hours old, but it's already having a crippling effect. The national carrier's fleet is largely grounded across the country, leaving travelers' plans up in the air at the height of the summer season. More than 10,000 flight attendants have walked off the job with contract talks at a stalemate and the deadline passed. Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu is urging the two sides to get back to the negotiating table ASAP, opting for now against backing an Air Canada request to send the matter to binding arbitration. Now, in a statement, the airline says it, quote, deeply regrets the impact of the strike, estimating it will disrupt hundreds of flights and about 130,000 customers for every day that the strike lasts. For its part, the union is setting up picket lines at airports right across the country, and it will be providing an update in Toronto at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which we will carry here live for you. Now, the strike has the potential to be felt in every single part of this country, and Canadian travelers around the world, travelers from all places around the world, could potentially have their plans upended. It has huge repercussions for the economy as well as individual Canadians. We have you covered with reaction and analysis as well as tips and advice if you or a family member or friend are caught up in the job action. CBC's Linda Ward leads off our coverage this hour. She joins us now from Pearson International Airport just outside Toronto. Linda, what's the reaction on the picket line there this morning?
Yeah, the picket's just being set up here within the last hour or so at Terminal 1 at Toronto Pearson. We're hearing chanting for fair pay and holding signs that say no contract, no takeoff. Well, we're certainly seeing that here today with all Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge flights being suspended. I have some spokespeople here I want to bring in now who've just arrived here at the picket line. Certainly not what you want to be seeing, I'm sure, this morning. But what's your reaction to the fact that we have gotten now to full strike action?
Good morning. Thank you. It's absolutely heartbreaking that our employer would rather ground their aircrafts than come to the table and present its employees a fair contract.
Shannon Elliott, you've been a flight attendant and now spokesperson for CUPE, another flight attendant here, Lillian. Can you just explain to me sort of, we know that Air Canada wanted binding arbitration, or the minister wanted binding arbitration. The union declined that. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that strike action is going to get you a better deal than what arbitration would have accomplished for the union?
So arbitration generally would give us the status quo, and the entire point of what we're trying to do is break the status quo. We have an archaic pay system where we don't get paid until the aircraft is moving, and it's just not right. And 90% of Canadians support that. They support that we should be getting paid when we're at work. So binding arbitration is it's going to reinforce the status quo, and that's not where we're at today.
We're not anywhere today. We're out on the picket line from what we understand. Neither party is at the table. Is that your understanding as well?
We're here until we have a fair contract presented to us from our union.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll let you get back to the picket line. We know Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu released a statement saying that she met with both parties and said that they need to get back to the table, calling it unacceptable. So little progress has been made. Air Canada, for their part, is saying that they are ready to negotiate as soon as the union is. But from what we understand, again, neither side at the table, at least at last update that we had. Air Canada telling passengers today, if you do not have a confirmed flight with another airline, do not come to the airport here because there are so many people. They are trying to rebook. What we understand as well from passengers, those phone lines that they're telling people to go to are quite busy as well as people deal with these canceled travel plans, Mark.
Now, Linda, you've been there since dawn. Despite that advice from the airline, passengers are showing up there. What are they telling you?
Well, they're looking for answers. They're trying to find a way to complete their journeys. We're looking at these departure boards that are just now essentially a long list of canceled flights. Air Canada Rouge, all grounded. We saw that wind down over the last couple of days. So we're seeing the residual effects of that, as well as some people have been here already for a couple of days. People have been camping out on the floor here, stranded, essentially saying that they're going to be here at the airport waiting until they can get on that flight. We spoke with one man who was on his way to Colombia, who said that the airline wasn't covering his hotel fees, so in order to save money, he was just going to stay here at the airport. We heard from another man who was on his way to Copenhagen, whose plans were upended, and his tour plans were essentially just sort of destroyed. He's not sure he's going to be able to get to catch up with his tour. Here's what he had to say.
So they rebook us. They were able to find rebook us, but we already we'll miss one day because we cannot arrive on the day that we're supposed to start the tour. They book us through Delta, and early this morning, so we went to Delta. By the time we get there, the line was so long. By the time we get to the counter, they said, no, we have no more seat.
So that essentially just sort of depicts the situation that's going on inside in terms of the difficulty that they're having in trying to rebook passengers on these flights. Air Canada is offering refunds if they can't rebook you on flights, and we've seen people take advantage of that as well. If you have upcoming travel plans, the airline is offering you the opportunity to rebook for free. Right here, the picket lines will be going throughout the day. This is a scene, Mark, you're going to see playing out not just here at Pearson Airport, but right across airports and across this country.
All right, CBC's Linda Ward at Toronto Pearson Airport for us. Thanks for that, Linda.